The Insurance Apprentice competition is something close to my heart. It's something we started because of a few reasons. We're currently busy with season 8, and after 4 episodes, we have chosen our top 12 contestants, and they are tops indeed. In episode 5, we started with the tasks, which is obviously the tougher part. And in each of the 5 task episodes, we will see 2 people go because, hey, there can only be one winner. I have decided to have a quick catch up with the contestants as they leave the competition. And last week, in the Autumn General episode, we saw Langa Sigodi and Nelisiwe Nyembe go. So it is amazing and lovely to catch up with you guys. Langa, I'm going to start with you first. Thank you for joining me. Please introduce yourself first.
Hi, Rianet, and thank you for your time. Langa Sigodi. I work at Opulentia Financial Services there. We're a brokerage in the industry. I think I had a conversation a few weeks ago. Like I said, we're small, but we're growing. And, if we have this conversation in a year's time, maybe we're not going to be so small. So I've been in the industry for a few years, maybe not as young as I look, but yeah, it's been a fantastic journey, and thank you for having me on this conversation.
So Langa, you were the first one to leave. It's not the first title you always necessarily want. How did you feel? How did you feel?
How did I feel? No, it was fine. I found the entire process, which is obviously a lot longer than just last week's episode, but I think the process itself was a lot of fun. There was a lot of engagement with industry peers, and that's what I ever really wanted in the first place. I think I made the point in a previous discussion that COVID really deprived us of connection, and I think one of the main strengths of this competition is how it brings people together, how it brings young industry talent together. And maybe we haven't had that over the past 2 years since the onset of COVID. I mean, we're even having this very conversation virtually. So I treasure and value the opportunity to get to meet people such as Nelisiwe and yourselves, and to connect. And I see this really as the beginning of another sort of journey in terms of where we can go collectively and also, of course, individually as professionals in the industry.
Thank you, Langa. What you say is 100% one of the goals of this competition. So thank you for reiterating it and just reminding people why we are doing this. So we'll get back to your conversation a little bit later, but I would like to first let Nelisiwe introduce herself as well. Hi, Nelisiwe.
Hi, Rianet. Thank you so much for having me. I'm working for a company called Centrofin. It is an asset finance company. I am a team leader in the insurance department, leading a team of administrators. And I have been in the industry for over 7 years. I started at Regent Insurance. That's where my insurance experience and knowledge, etc., started up until now. Yeah.
I don't know if I've asked you guys, and it's not part of the script, but and Langa, how did you end up in insurance? It is, as we know, not a career that people choose. So did it choose you?
I'm not sure about choosing, but I think it speaks to the value of sponsorship. At the time, Aon were sponsoring Manchester United, and they're my favorite football team. Okay. Quite literally, I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I thought to myself, what is this Aon situation about? And decided to have a look into it. Oh, is this risk management, largest consulting risk and insurance consulting company in the world? And I thought, oh, well, that sounds like fun. Why don't I throw my name into the hat there? And that's where my career began. And I've been incredibly lucky to be in the industry since that time. So a lot of luck, a lot of chance.
Hard work, no doubt.
Pardon? Yeah,
Hard
absolutely.
work.
But if there are any marketers out there or any companies who doubt the value of sponsorship and marketing, I am a victim of exactly that.
That's a fantastic story, different than any other story I've heard. So really, really cool.
Yeah,
Wow. Nelisiwe, how did you end up?
yes. I was working for call center selling telecoms. Then I moved to Vodacom, and an opportunity presented itself at Regent, and I knew nothing about insurance. And since from then, 2014 up until now, I found my passion, and I've managed to also grow in the industry, and looking forward to staying in the industry maybe forever,
Oh, that's
and growing.
fantastic. That's so good to hear. Okay. So Nelisiwe, you stayed a bit longer in the competition, and you had a bit of a taste on how the task story was happening. So you were divided up into the um, virtual groups. How did you
Yes.
feel about the task? How was it?
To be honest, the tasks were grueling, but at the same time, I can say very informative. I got to learn a lot. Besides not having much knowledge when it comes to the BI cover, but also an exposure within what's going on in the industry. I must say, I'm one person that just doesn't read the news, but for me to participate in that task, I got to learn a lot about the challenges the industry is actually facing, and as well as to get to learn more about the products. I got to also meet with other contestants, which was really great. And yeah, I can touch on that.
Yeah, it was a tough task, but
It was.
it was really very relevant, and that's what I so appreciate,
Yes,
I
I
love about
agree.
this competition. You know, they really touch on the relevant stuff and the real challenges we as an industry face. So this is to both of you. Um, your journey was short, but you have
Yes.
most certainly learned something. What was that, Langa?
Oh, I think I need to learn my wordings a bit better. But jokes aside, it just rang home again, like how many brilliant people there are in this industry, young people who have an appreciation of a lot of different things. I think what really struck me is the difference in terms of where we are, whether that's underwriting, brokerage, and different parts of the industry, whether that's claims, again, underwriting, sales. People with listening to Nelisiwe talk about her experience prior to the industry in a call center, that there are so many avenues to get into the industry. There's so many different things and roles that you can play. And that really struck me. I've kind of forgotten what the question was actually, but I think that was something that was worth pointing out, is that there's so many different ways to get into the industry. And there's room for everyone, and that diversity is something that struck me observationally at that time. Again, I personally need to learn my technical side a bit better, but it's only one facet of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, you have indicated that we really once again tick a lot of the boxes of the
Yeah.
reason why we are doing this. Nelisiwe, what have you learned?
I've learned quite a lot. First of all, was to identify my weakness, which I wasn't aware of. In terms of thinking out of the box, I've actually never had an opportunity where I was given a task and having to think out of the box and present. And that, for me, being eliminated on that part made me realize that there is something I can actually work on. And then also, I have learned to be out of my comfort zone and just never to, limit myself in terms of learning, and just to be open.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's a great thing you've learned. By the way, was it as stressful as what it looked, Langa?
I don't think so. Again, I think, what is it? Stress is it's a function of, the sort of expectations that you put on yourself, and maybe sometimes the fear of the unknown. I think for me personally, it was okay. Like I always knew the technical side of stuff was always going to be my weakness, and so keeping that under control was fine, and just doing the best that you can is always, I think, what you owe to yourself and what you owe to the people around you and to the people watching is to do the best that you can. But equally, I don't think I was too stressed about what the outcome would be. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't anything. What was there to lose? And that's the way that I see it. There was absolutely nothing to lose, and therefore, getting worried doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But also, I understand that we are different people. We have different ways of processing things. So, yeah. But for myself, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, so I can attest to that. For me, you never ever looked stressed, by the way. You like just so calm and collected.
No one's
and you
gonna
just
no one's
do
gonna
it.
chase me
I
out.
love that about you.
No one's gonna
Nelisiwe,
jump in. Sorry,
wasn't
Nick.
it stressful?
On my side, what was stressful, I can say from beginning of the premium presentation task, I can say that I had zero experience in the product itself. So that already just made me have less confidence in myself. But I can honestly say with that being stressful, it also came as a positive outcome because I also got to learn a lot. I can rank myself now from 0 to 7 at least on the product knowledge itself.
Okay, so out of even a very stressful situation, something very positive came out of it, and I love
Yes,
the
it
way
did.
that you see it, because that's what
Yes.
this is about, hey? This is about the learning experience, right?
Yes, I agree.
So, Langa, I think you touched a lot on it, but what was something else maybe? What was good for you about this experience? And would you tell others to apply? And you're not allowed to say no.
Terrible. Worst experience of my life. No. I think we need to challenge ourselves as people, as professionals, and I can't stress enough the value of being able to communicate with people and to network with people. And this doesn't just go for our industry, but in life in general. There are very few things that you'll ever achieve alone. And whilst we are competing against each other, and it's a healthy competition that's making us better, making us assess ourselves, where we are, where we need to improve. That for that reason alone, throw your name in there, get a feel, meet some industry colleagues who are going to be at the front of this industry, if they're not already. There's some incredible people who are doing incredible things on this show, and I'm so happy to have been able to cross paths with them. I cannot stress that enough. Get it done, do it for yourself, do it for your career, and go out and have a bit of fun. It's time out of the office. I mean, imagine. We everyone wants that.
100%. 100%. Not
Yeah.
on the out of the office part, but on the rest. Nelisiwe?
On my side, I would encourage people to enter because I can rather say and take from Langa. It is a platform that allows you as a person to measure your abilities, your knowledge, and skills as well within the industry. I can also say that for myself, it is a great exposure in the industry and building a network for yourself. So one can start their career from right at the bottom and just grow with it. So it is basically the networking and just learning from your mistakes and learning from other people and just gaining more knowledge.
100%. Okay.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Something that I just thought about is that I think this industry is ripe for some people to get in there here and really revolutionize things. When you've got industries that are literally hundreds of years old, that have had a certain cadence, a certain rhythm that has been there for so long, those are the industries that you can really tear into. If you think about what the guys in fintech have done, I think about a couple of these insurance companies that we've got who are doing incredible things. You think about, if anyone's ever interested, the company Lemonade over the United States and what they're doing. The opportunities to really excel and really stand out in an industry that is still global, that is going to connect you to colleagues internationally. I don't think there's a better place. You could do the banking thing and you could do the accounts thing, and those are absolutely needed industries and skills. But I think there's a rare opportunity, if you've got your eye and you really want to stand out, to do something amazing in this industry in South Africa.
See, this is why I love the people that take part in the competition, because not only are you the people that put up your hand, you really take part for a reason and you understand the bigger picture. So thank you for that flip and awesome positive message, Langa.
Yeah.
So you answered my next question, but I'm going to ask you again. Both of you, as a young person, what do you love about our industry?
Nelly, do you want to take this one?
Again.
I think we can't. This industry, if you think about South Africa and if you think about anywhere else in the world, what this industry has been able to do and is still going to do for the troubles that we face, I think you could make an argument that this is one of the most patriotic things you could do. If it isn't for professionals, from the actuaries, the underwriters, the brokers who make sure the cover is in place, the devastation that happened in Natal last year, for example, the floods that we're seeing again in Natal in the Eastern Cape, for example, the protection that insurance offers for in the agricultural space, where we're seeing the effects of climate change are affecting the country so intensely, droughts, floods in Cape Town just last week. What you can do here in this industry by protecting those assets and helping people to survive, to restore their lives, I think it's one of the most noble things you could ever do. And this industry is vitally, vitally, vitally important.
So bottom line, what's not to love, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's so patriotic. It's really noble, I think.
I love the way you say it. Nelisiwe?
What I love about the industry is with so much that has happened, yes, in the country, we've learned as individuals how important insurance has been or has become, that it also has become a necessity rather than a nice to have. And what I also love about this industry is, with myself, since I've witnessed as a professional, I was able to grow and make a career for myself, which with every young person out there who's most probably thinking about what they would like to study or how they would like to grow, I would honestly recommend this one, because it's not only financial services, but it's broad. It's not only about selling insurance policies, there's underwriting, there's claims, there's actuaries. So it is quite a lot. And I can say even myself right now is considering, and if I were to move now from managing people, what exactly I can do. And I just thought, with my experience that I have, maybe study towards becoming a compliance officer. That's how big it is, and exciting, and it's growing. And yeah, there's so much to say. I could write a list in a book, but
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I agree with you. And I'm touching on that in the magazine that we are putting out after the series.
yes.
We are talking to a lot of different people in the industry, specifically magazine focused on the insurance apprentice. And in there, we also list a lot of careers and ways to get into the industry. So I think it's a nice add-on to what you said. There are so many ways to get in, and there are so many opportunities within our industry.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. It was fantastic to spend some time with you and to just catch up. We'll hopefully see each other in person, not too far in the distant future. And all the best with your journey ahead.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Really appreciate it.
It's